ladies and gentlemen. The fact to see so many people who come to it, I'm sure it's not for the Bagels, but some of you came to hear me. Sorry to disappoint you that 2 years ago I couldn't make it. I hope I'll make up for it today. The story you're going to hear from me is my own story. I don't speak for anybody else. I was born in Poland of Orthodox parents, and even as a youngster I was being abused in Poland. I come from a little town between Warsaw and Lublin. The schools I used to go to, not for many years, very anti-Semitic. The whole area was a farm area. My father was in the grain business. We had our own mill, and we used to use the produce from the farmers. There were many times that I came out of school and waited on. As you see how small I am now, I was a bit smaller even then, and was getting quite a bit of abuse. I was only 9 when the war broke out. I didn't know much about the wars or anything. It's not like today. You come home from school, you switch your telly on, you see what goes around the world. When I eventually came into the towns to liquidate, my father came running home, took me by my hand and said, "Follow me quickly." He took me to a side road. He took me to a side road, and before he let me go, he told me, "Try to stay alive. There should always be somebody from the family, because one day you'll have to come in front of groups and tell them what had happened to people like us." And as we heard the Germans coming into that town, I remember standing at the back of the windows which led out onto the fields. And I said to my sister, "We've got to jump. Get out of the house and start running." We did. And we ran, and all of a sudden we heard shots being fired at us. We came across a farmer who was working his fields. He got a hold of me, and I managed to pull myself away to free myself. He got a hold of my sister, and I begged him to release her. "Let us go, let us run." "No," he said, "they're almost upon us. If I let you go, they'll kill me." And I pulled at my sister again, and I couldn't release her, and I had to leave her there. And I ran on, and I started following the telegraph post for direction. We came across groups who managed to escape, like myself. Nobody wanted to be in a big group. You're better off to be by yourself. And I ended up in that area, in that place, for several months. Not moving about during the day, but keeping out of sight. Only at night to find food, shelter wherever I could. I was aware that even the Poles, not only the Germans were looking for me, even the Poles would have found me, they would have given me up. As I said earlier on, they were being rewarded. Buchenwald, at that time when we came in, was almost 60,000 people, divided up into camps. We, the youngest, were always the last. The things we had to do there, not very much. Tried to stay alive. How, I don't know. We were taken to pick up heavy stones, taken one part of the camp to another. The first part of the camp was built for political prisoners. I remember going to clean the room of one of them, and it rewarded me by waiting outside the window. He used to open the window and throw me out some food. Some of those little bones were so soft. What they were, I didn't find out. I didn't want to know. They sustained me. But I've survived. I managed to stand in front of you. I don't believe there's anybody who's been through what we went through, and the time that we went through, is normal or completely ill, completely well rather. As you see me now, I'm sure somewhere along the line, I know I've suffered enough with health problems. I feel I'm strong and able enough, but somehow something left of it. I don't think there's any doctor or consultant who would verify me completely well and ill and well. Please, I ask of you, you don't have to remember what I said, but when you go out into the world, no doubt you will come across deniers, for whatever reason they deny it. My interpretation was always, until recently, they could not expect from human beings of the German nation and their helpers to do those things to human beings. And therefore, the only way to do is to deny it. It never happened. Ladies and gentlemen, it did happen. Much more than I've told you. I want you to remember, whenever you come across somebody, tell them Solly Irving stood in front of you. He could not explain everything, but whatever we heard from him was enough to keep us conscious of what had happened to our people. I'm going to stop now. It's not an hour, Jessica, but I'm hoping that your questions will come out a lot more of my story. Thank you very much. Give yourself a minute or two, and may the first one or put his hand up and see how many more will follow. Thank you.